How's everybody doing? I'm Jay Elsen, and this is Coyote Corner. Well, after helping the USD men get past Denver in their Summit League opener, Trevor Gruce had a chance to further cement his legacy this past weekend. The 6'9 senior, who notched his first double-double of the season against the Pioneers, needed 11 points and 5 boards against IUPUI on Thursday to become the 10th Coyote to reach 1,200 points and 700 rebounds. By the way, Gruce was averaging 18 points and 7 boards in 4 career games against the Jags. USD swept the season series from the Jaguars last season, looking for a 4th straight win overall, and Gruce helps get things rolling early on, splits the D and scores. He was 3 of 4 from the floor in the first half. Coyotes start to heat up from there. Casey Kasperbauer throws it through for 3 of his 6 points. And a couple of possessions later, Brandon Boss steps back, pops a tray of his own. He hit 4 of those on the day, and that would help the Yotes build a 9-point advantage. Jags storm back before the break. PJ Hubert connects from downtown. 8-0 run to close the half gives IUPUI a 1-point lead. Yotes wake up early in the second. Boss to the rack and one. He led all scores with 21. Later, Eric Robertson feeds Gruce inside, and he'll do the rest. 18 points, 6 boards for Gruce, and USD is up 5. Back come the Jags again. Ian Childs, just 2 field goals on the night. That one pulls IUPUI within 1. But that's as close as they were going to get after a timeout. Tyler Flack helped slam the door, literally. That stretched the lead to 7, and later, Flack again. This time on the putback, he was 4 for 4 from the floor for the 2nd consecutive game, and USD goes on to win its 4th straight, 69-57. The Coyotes with another solid defensive effort. Not only did they hold the Jags under 30% in the second half, they all but shut down their top 2 scorers, Ian Childs and Mitch Patton, who accounted for over 29 points per game coming in, held to just 15 and a combined 4 of 17 from the floor.
I think that just goes to show like how our strides at defense that we've made this year. You know, we're starting to lock down some guys and making it tougher for them to score. Making other guys score on this team is kind of what we wanted to do because we figured that those guys would get their shots either way. But tonight, I guess we held them down to 15, like you said.
Coyotes would face an even bigger challenge on Saturday as they played host to Fort Wayne in an early battle for first place. Trevor Gruce battled foul trouble all night, but he set a charge through the Dakota Dome early on. Big 2-handed flush to give the Yotes an early 2-point edge. Don to answer on the far end. Louis Jacobo pulls up for 2 of his 19 points. He'd hit again moments later to put Fort Wayne in front. USD seized momentum from there. Kareem Rawson had a huge night. Here's part of it. The senior, 3 for 3 from beyond the arc in the game, but he wasn't the only one hitting. Adam Thosby, 3-ball corner pocket. Coyotes scored 20 of the half's final 28 points to open up a 10-point halftime lead. USD really blew it open in the second. Brandon Boss with a nice little finger roll finish. He had 13. And the next time down, Eric Robertson for 3. Everybody getting into the act as the Coyotes stretched the lead to as many as 21. Joey James knew Fort Wayne was going to make a run, and they did. Jacobo looks inside for Joe Reed. He gets the bump and the bucket, and it's 55-39. Wouldn't know by the score, but IPFW actually shot it pretty well in the second half. Mo Evans with one of their 5 3-pointers. He had 13 off the bench. Don's got as close as 11, but the Coyotes end the rally there. Trey Norris, no look to Rawson. He scored a career-high 21 points and came up 1 rebound shy of his first double-double of the season. And Rawson would help polish it off moments later in transition. He finds Thosby for the and one. Thosby finished with 11, and USD caps a perfect 5-0 homestand with a 75-61 win over Fort Wayne. Coyotes improved to 8-9 overall, 3-0 in the Summit League, and they are all alone in first place.
We haven't had a game quite like that, both offensively and defensively, the whole year. And against that team who's come on the 3-0 against the top three teams in our conference, I mean, it's the best time for it to happen.
It does boost us up in a certain way, but we don't want to get too high on it. You know, it's a great feeling being the first in the Summer League, but it's just another win for us, I think.
Now, the Coyotes are pleased but not satisfied as they prepare to hit the road for the first time in conference play. And interim head coach Joey James will let us know how they plan to protect that perfect 3-0 league mark next. And welcome back to Coyote Corner, and join us now is head coach of the first place Coyotes in the Summit League, USD 3-0, after sweeping the weekend set with IUPUI and IPFW. Joey, how does that feel to have those words be able to come out of your mouth?
Well, you know, I tell you, it feels really good, but at the end of the day, this is a long conference season. We still have 11 games to play yet. But I tell you, our guys are playing well right now. But the next step is to go and see how we play on the road coming up here.
All right, well, we started with IUPUI on Thursday night, and this is a team that's fallen on hard times. This used to be an upper half of the league team, and they've just fallen on those hard times here as of late. But they came in here and they gave you everything you could handle for most of that game. It ended up being a 12-point decision, but it was closer than that all night. Yeah, it was. And, you know, I tell you what, IUPUI is one of them teams that have a lot of talent. They came in here with a great game plan. They played some zone on us. They mixed it up with man. It was just a lot of variations of what they did, and they really slowed the pace down, which was fine by us, you know. But I tell you what, they're still a very good team, I think. They just got to figure out a way to win games, and it reminds me of us a year ago where we had some talent out there. We struggled closing games out. Kind of like same thing with us earlier in the year this year where you know, you got some tight games and we couldn't get over the hump. So felt good to get off to a good start and close that game out. Much like it was with Denver, the defensive end was a huge part of why you guys were able to come away with a win. Yeah, second half, I tell you, I thought we were incredible second half of both of those games, both Denver and IUPUI, and I thought that was the difference in the game entirely. So, you know, that's something we've been trying to hang our hat on more is to defend and rebound, and I think we've done a good job so far. You also defended their top two individuals, Mitch Patton and Ian Childs, extremely well. These guys came in averaging 29 points per game between them. You held them to 15 combined on 4-17 shooting. Karim Elsen did a great job, and so did Tyler Larson on Ian Childs. Made him take tough shots, contested shots, stopped his penetration from getting to the basket, and then we tried to double up on Patton a little bit more, make him uncomfortable. And but again, I thought Trevor and Tyler Flack did a nice job against him too. Different kind of challenge then coming in Saturday against a Fort Wayne team that had won 6 straight. They were 3-0 in the league. The early battle for first place, and it was tight early. And you guys put together a 19-8 run to close the first half, and really that's really what propelled you to a pretty impressive win over a really good team. Yeah, and I tell you, the energy in the building on Saturday was incredible. Our student section was great. Our fans showed up, and our guys just kind of fed off of that. And I tell you, we played pretty well. I thought of all of this year, I thought that was more of the complete basketball games that we played on both ends of the floor. But we still have improvement. Our guys know that. But I was really, really pleased with the effort and the energy that our guys brought on Saturday night. Trevor Gruce, Tyler Flack dealing with foul trouble most of the night, and as a result, you needed somebody else to step up offensively. And Brandon Boss has been that guy. Trey Norris has been that guy. Karim Rawson has not been that guy at any point really this season. He was on Saturday. Career had 21 points, 9 rebounds. What an effort from him. Oh, he was big time good. And hats off to Karim. You know, he's really worked at it. He's a senior. And most of the time, I think junior college guys, they always have their best year is usually their second year. And I tell you, he stepped up really big for us, made some huge shots, played with a lot of confidence. And he's only going to continue to improve, I think. But what a great game he had for us. So with that win, you go to 3-0 in the Summit League. You finish the homestand 5-0 to get back within a game of 500 overall. The trick now is to figure out how to bottle that up and take it with you on the road. Because you get a couple of tough ones at Western Illinois and at Omaha this weekend. How do you get that done? Well, we have no option. You know, you go on the road, and this is something we'll talk about. We got practice this morning, and we'll continue to discuss it leading up to the game. But if you are going to be a contender in this league, you've got to figure out a way to go on the road and win some games. And Western is a very tough team. They're very good defensively. Omaha obviously is a tough matchup. Offensively, they're explosive. So it's kind of a tale of two cities with both teams. But I know our guys are going to look forward to this challenge, and I'm really excited about seeing
what we're made of on the road, considering the past that we've had. And so this is where we need to start taking the next step in this program and see if we can go on the road and get some wins.
All right, good luck to you. We'll see you back here next week.
Appreciate it.
All right, Joey. Well, the Coyote women were hoping to get things back on track as they continued their Summit League road swing in Indiana. We'll show you how they fared right after this. And welcome back. While the result wasn't what they had hoped for, the USD women were able to pull something positive out of last week's loss at Denver. Last year's Summit League Tournament MVP Nicole Seekamp returned to the lineup after missing the previous 2 games with an ankle injury, scoring 13 points in 31 minutes off the bench. Now the Coyotes were hoping to get even more out of Seekamp Thursday night as they continued their road trip in Indianapolis. Unfortunately, Seekamp's ankle was acting up, so that production wasn't there. The Coyotes were forced to look elsewhere. Polly Harrington helped pick up a lot of the slack. Lisa Loeffler pulling her weight as well. That 3 gives USD an early 3-point advantage. Meanwhile, on the other end, everything going through De'Ara Goss. Outside, inside, didn't matter. The 5th-year senior dominated the first half, scoring 17 points on 8 of 12 shooting. Jags starting to pull away, but Harrington helps keep the Coyotes in it as she gets 2 more of her team-high 18. Best story of the day for USD was Kelly Stewart, playing her first game in over a year because of a foot injury. Scored 7 points in 13 minutes off the bench. Coyotes trailed by 10 at the break, and IUPUI would blow it open early in the second. Goss, career-high 27 points, and IUPUI beats the Coyotes for the first time in 4 tries, 80-59. And if you're going to circle one thing in this game, turnovers would probably be it. USD gave it away 20 times, leading to 24 points for the Jaguars. USD would witness another impressive individual performance on Saturday in Fort Wayne. This one came courtesy of Mastodon's junior point guard Haley Seibert. She started hot, and she stayed that way. There's one of her 4 first-half threes. She had 20 at the break. As for the Coyotes, Polly Harrington continued her solid weekend. She scores inside to get USD going early in the second. There was more where that came from. Harrington again, plus the foul. Harrington had a career-high 24 points. Coyotes continue to chip away from there. Rachel Contreras for 3. She had 17, and it's a 1-point game. But it was pretty much all Fort Wayne from there. Reigning Summit League Player of the Year, Amanda Hyde, for 2 of her 23. And a short time later, Seibert delivers the dagger, her 7th three-pointer of the day. Fort Wayne outscores USD 19-3 over the final 4:34. And the Dons deal the Yotes a 3rd straight loss in the Summit League, 96-78. Seibert finished with a career-high 35 points to lead the way for IPFW. That's more than double her season average. Now, safe to say the Coyotes are reeling, but what's it going to take to solve these recent struggles? We'll ask the head coach when we come back. And welcome back to Coyote Corner. A couple of tough losses on the road for the USD women last weekend, and here to talk more about that is head coach Amy Williams. And Amy, I know going on the road, it's always tough. When you've lost your first conference game, the thing you want to avoid is that losing streak. And unfortunately, things didn't go your way again this weekend in Indiana.
Yeah, it's a really tough road trip against 2 very quality teams on their home court, and we knew it was going to take a great effort, but right now we're just not a very good defensive team, and we've got to find a way to kind of get that corrected if we want to be able to turn things around here in Summit League play, and we're going to have to really commit to making some improvements there. Up
first, Thursday night, you visited IUPUI, a team you beat 3 times last year, and obviously as you go forward, it's going to be tougher and tougher to keep beating a team like that. They've got some talent, and De'Ara Goss really went off on you in this particular game.
Yeah, she's a pretty special player, and we talked at length as a team about why were we able to sweep that team 1 year ago, and I think that it was because we, as a team made a great commitment to, sticking to our game plan and kind of getting that team to take the shots that we wanted them to take, and that's not what we were able to do down at their place. They were pretty much getting any kind of shot that they wanted, and especially in particular De'Ara Goss, who just had a spectacular game.
Yeah, she had 27 points on 11 of 18 shooting, hit a couple of threes as well. Turnovers were a big part of this game as well, and that's the kind of defense they play. They try to force you into a lot of that. You fell victim to that. 20 of them in the game led to 24 points for the Jaguars.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way they play. They make you kind of speed up and get going a little bit fast, and I think that it affected us, and lately we've kind of gotten used to, our starting point guard, Taya He-Miller, has not kind of fell victim to that. She's really been taking very good care of the basketball, but I think she saw a different kind of pressure, and she was asked to handle the ball all night under full court pressure, and uncharacteristically, we had just too many turnovers as a group.
Nicole Seekamp, let's focus on her for a bit, because you got her back at the Denver game. She gave you some minutes off the bench, 31 minutes as a matter of fact, and showed some signs, needed to shake off some of the rust. And so I'm sure you were coming into this weekend thinking hopefully she'll be a little bit more healthy and a little bit more ready to go. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. She's held scoreless for the first time in her college career, 0 for 3 from the field, and played just 22 minutes. What's going on with Nicole at this point? How is that ankle?
Well, she's just not getting any better, and so that's kind of a concern for us. We thought, she came back and gave us some minutes in that Denver game, and because she's just an intelligent player, she found a way to get herself to the free throw line and could impact the game a little bit that way. But the truth was, we knew in that game that she wasn't at 100%, and we've tried to kind of see if we could work her through some of that, but it certainly is not getting any better, and we could see very clearly in that IUPUI game she just was not very explosive, did not have her just regular appearance on the court, and couldn't do the things that she's comfortable or used to being able to do. So, at this point we just kind of made a decision that we need to hold her out and see what we can do to get her back healthy.
You did not have her Saturday then when you moved on to Fort Wayne, and you saw another huge individual performance, this time coming from Haley Seibert from IPFW. She had 35 points. Just one of those days where she wasn't going to miss.
Yeah, I mean, she just had a spectacular game, and we lost her a few times, and I thought for the most part we had a pretty good effort. We fought, we stayed in the game, and obviously I don't feel like the end score was indicative of that game. It was a 4-point game with 3 minutes to go or something like that, and kind of just down the stretch we fouled, and then they just stretched it out a little bit, hit a couple threes down the stretch to really stretch that lead. But we're going to have to do a better job defensively, especially against other teams' best players.
0-3 in the Summit League. Obviously not the start any coach wants, and not with the expectations that you had coming into this season. But now you get the chance to come home, and these two this weekend against Western Illinois and Omaha are all the more important at this point.
Yeah, I mean, every game in this conference season is important, and I think we've talked a lot about the expectations that we had, and I think myself as a coach, knowing our roster was very inexperienced, and knowing that really Nicole Seekamp, Polly Harrington, Lisa Loeffler, the only players that really were bringing any experience. Everybody else is kind of brand new to this, and then you pull Nicole out of that mix, and we're playing a lot of young kids that are kind of getting used to Summit League play. So, for me, the expectations to be able to say that I expected that we were going to go on the road, these first 3 games on the road, and be able to, come away, in a better, we would like to have come away with a better record than that, but I certainly think that, we played some great teams on the road with a young and inexperienced team, and we're going to have to find a way to bounce back, and there's no better way to do that than to try to take care of your home court and get back at home and try to, correct some of the problems that we've been having defensively.
All right, well, good luck to you this weekend. We'll see if you can right the ship. We'll see you back here next week.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks, Amy. Well, despite the coaching staff's best efforts, Trey Norris didn't initially pick USD, but he's here now, and he's having a huge impact for the Coyotes. Find out what's behind his success when we come back. And welcome back. We wrap things up tonight with our Coyote Corner Athlete of the Week, who's running the show for the surging USD men. The appropriately dressed David Brown joins us now with more on Trey Norris.
Jay, it's hard to look this good, and it's hard for Trey Norris to be any happier than he is right now. He actually gets to play for the Yotes. He had the transfer from North Texas and sit out last season by redshirting, but now that he's on the floor, he's in complete control running the show. The traditional role of the point guard is to distribute, find your teammates, and control the flow of the game. But Trey Norris has been anything but traditional of late. He's had to add a bit of a scoring punch.
I'm a pass-first point guard, so try to get my teammates involved. If I see my teammates struggling, try to be more aggressive on the scoring part of it. I feel like I balance it well. I feel like I do what Coach James needs me to do for our team. And lately I've just been scoring it pretty good.
Now that's not to say Norris has completely neglected his point guard duties, far from it. Despite being third on the team in scoring, Norris still dishes out a Summit League leading 5 assists per contest. It's the ability to adapt and expand his role that has interim head coach Joey James impressed.
He's constantly working on his game, and I thought that was the biggest step that he had to take from last year to this year, just by redshirting, was he was really inconsistent from the three. He was just more all a dribble drive type point guard, pull-up type guy, try to get to the rim.
For guys playing off the ball, it's like a dream come true, because like he gets into gaps and he sees you, even if he's not looking at you, he'll find you.
And Norris is finding it easier just to be around the team this year, considering he actually gets a chance to play.
It was very tough. Just seeing my team, we only won 10 games last year, so I really wanted to get out there and help them in any kind of way I could.
And now he can help, knowing his coach has already shown how much he wants him out there.
He's quick, he's strong. We recruited the heck out of that kid out of high school, chased him all over. I mean, from Texas to Minnesota to Kansas City to California, we were everywhere.
With a staff going everywhere, for a guard who can seemingly do everything, it's no wonder number one has already been making a difference in more than one way. Now, Jay, not only does Norris lead the Summit League in assists per game with 5, but he's also third in the conference in assist-to-turnover ratio at 2.7.
Coaches love that point guard that protects the basketball. All right, thanks, David. Well, Norris and company will travel to Western Illinois and Omaha this weekend, while the women face those same 2 teams at home. We're going to be back here to break it all down for you next week on another episode of Coyote Corner.